sleeping in an old muddy grave. He made old death. He made it behave. When I was hungry, didn't know where the food was coming from. He made a way. Yes, he made a way. If you don't got no money, but you know that Jesus will, he'll somehow make a way out of no way every day. He is. He is. Do you believe he is? How many know he is?
See, that's your problem. You just want to take a little bit of it and run on, but then you half doing stuff. You half want to study the word. You half want to go to church. You half want to go to Bible study. You half want to get in Sunday school. But then when you need me, you want to call on me, expect for me to be there just like that. He said you need to dig deeper into the gospel. He said in that verse 2 of today's text, he said, I will pick you up also out of the horrible pit. I will pick you up also out of the horrible pit and the miry clay. I said, God, the miry clay? He said, yeah. He said, the miry clay? I said, God, yeah. I said, what's that? He said, let me take you back. I said, okay, God. He said, you remember when you were 6 years old? And I said, well, I'm listening, God. He said, you'll remember. He said, you remember when you had on your favorite pair of tennis shoes? And you wore those shoes to school, and you only had one other pair that you better not wear. And you had that favorite pair of tennis shoes on, but you didn't want to wear your new pair, but so you wore the old pair, and even though they hurt your feet, but yet you went to school with them, and then when you got home, you went outside. He said, but this particular day, it was raining. It'd been raining all day long. And when you got home from school, you went outside to play. And let me make you understand something. When I was growing up, we went outside when it was raining. We went outside when it was snowing. We went outside no matter what the weather was. We went outside. Mama made sure that we got out and went outside. So we went outside and it was raining. So I found myself in the rain playing. Mama yelled, stay in front of the house. I said, okay, Mama, I stay in front of the house. And I'm playing. And for whatever reason, at a young age, I love watching Army pictures. I love watching Army pictures. To this day, I can tell you about all the Army pictures that have ever been made. I love watching Army pictures. And Mr. Simmons across the street had this garden. He had this garden, and this garden hadn't produced fruit yet, so it was just the dirt. But it had been raining all day. So I had got a thought in my mind, if I can make it from one side of the garden to the other side of the garden, I can win the war. So I walked to the garden. I crossed the street and I walked to the garden. I looked back. Mama ain't looking. I walked to the garden, and the first time I stepped into the garden, I heard something go. And I kept on walking. And I kept on walking. I got about 6 steps in and I got stuck. Think about the miry clay. I got stuck. And I could not move no more. And I had on my favorite pair of shoes, and I was stuck, and I could not move. And I said, Mama! Mama, help me! Mama, help me! And she came outside and said, boy, what you doing in Mr. Simmons' garden? Get your butt out that garden. As soon as she said, get your butt out that garden, I was able to get out that garden. I turned around, and I ended up leaving my shoes in the garden, and one sock came off, but I'm coming up out of there. I was stuck, but then I came up out of there once I heard her voice. And so when I got in the house, she cleaned me up real good where you couldn't see no mud, because by that time I had mud running up my leg, mud on my pants leg. And then after she cleaned me up, she whooped my butt. And that's the first time in my life I understood what shift change is. Shift change. Yeah, shift change. Yeah, I said shift change. Because after she whooped my butt, my daddy came home. Shift change. He whooped my butt. And God revealed something to me. He said, you remember that story? I said, yeah, God, I remember all my whoopings. I do. I remember all my whoopings. He said, what I want you to understand is that I'm just like your mother. I said, what you saying, God? He said, when you find yourself in the miry clay, when you find yourself stuck, when you find yourself in that horrible pit, I'm able to speak to that situation. As soon as I speak to that situation, you will be unstuck. And the thing about it, you're going to leave some stuff behind. You're going to leave those old tennis shoes behind. You see, what you didn't realize, those friends in your life were really hurting you. But now that I have made you unstuck, I'm going to make sure you leave those friends behind so you can move forward in your life. I'm going to pull you up out of that horrible pit. I'm going to pull you up out of that horrible pit. You are no longer stuck no more. It's time for you to move forward. But it was a process that you had to go through to understand who it is that's speaking to your situation, because you ain't did nothing by yourself. But you prayed to me, and now I'm going to move in a mighty way and make you unstuck.
Nobody knows like you know what God has brought you through.